League is so back. Season 15 Part 2 is here and it's in freaking Ionia. There's been a few changes recently to the map, the gameplay and even the ban system, and these are just so refreshing. Ask yourself, what do you really think about the game's current state? Before you answer this question, let's talk a bit about what League of Legends has been cooking for Season 15 Part 2. Riot changed Atakan. Atakan now is called Thornbound Atakan. And the Blood Petals now changed to Spirit Blossom Petals. But wait! There's a lot more. Sorry guys, had to go outside. Anyway, they also changed Void Grubs and Herald. They now spawn later in the game and Void Grubs only spawn once. Also, Herald's debuff is gone, which means it's easier to do Herald now. They've also added new very good changes against troll people. So now if you're playing support, you are forced to always get the support item and nobody else can purchase it, of course, still. And also, if you're going as a jungler, only one person in the whole team can have smite to, of course, fight against people who just for some reason like taking smite as well, besides the jungler. To those people, it's game over. And they've also added something amazingly wonderful. You can now swap roles in champion lobby. Yes guys, you heard me right. Something that should have been added years ago has finally been added. So better now than never. But one thing is for sure guys, Riot said 2025 is going to be the year that changes League forever. And so far, League of Legends has been changing so much. Another thing that they're going to change is the ban system. As I mentioned before, there's a new ban system that's going to be implemented for soft inting and also anti-cheating people. Riot already refunded LP. Yes, refunded LP to people who had games against cheating players. And with these new changes, hopefully you see people getting punished for soft inting. But one of the best things is that when you're going to report somebody, you can actually see their name on the report feedback. This means you will know exactly who got punished that you reported, which makes us feel a bit more in control, right? Sometimes you had that guy soft inting 08 and he said, oh, because I'm soft inting 08 at 20 minutes, I'm not gonna get banned. Well, newsflash for you, this new system might actually permaban you, or at least punish you temporarily, which is better than nothing. Another cool thing is they changed a bit of the bounty system. From now on, you need to be on the winning team to actually have a bounty, which is a good change. I like that. I actually do like that. They also added new sound effects depending on how many people you've killed in a row. So if you do a double, triple, quadra, or pentakill, you will have different sound effects piling up from the effect, which is a fun touch, you know. It's these small things that make the game feel more alive. Also, going back to what I said previously, they're adding new game modes, right? It's called Brawl. This game mode was literally suggested by an employee and, if I'm not mistaken, was literally done in a few days as a workshop. And it's an amazing idea. League of Legends is showing the community that they're not scared of putting out new content, regardless of what it is, to try and please the audience, both a professional audience and just the regular folk that like to play the game after work or after being with their family. And having these fresh things pop out just makes everything feel more lively. It just makes the experience so much more fun. Brawl is literally just fighting non-stop against the enemy champions and pushing the only wave that is literally in one lane. There are a few buffs around the map, but overall it happens even in Bandle City, which is where freaking Yordles are from. So if you love champions like Lulu, not the way you're thinking of course, it goes to show that you need to remember about one thing: having fun. You see, in my opinion, ever since League of Legends added and removed mythic items, the game has felt super stale. But now they're doing map changes. They're changing the map depending on the season and the kind of thing that is happening in the lore. They're adding new champions based on these changes that will go along the lore as well. They're changing the game experience for regular people and adding new game modes that are suggested by Riot employees themselves, which goes to show that even though Riot had a bad trip about the X-Tech chests, they do listen to the community. They do care about what we want to change in the game, and they do care about the game and not just money-wise. Other channels are covering the skin problems that sometimes happen, but for me, I don't need to buy skins to play the game, so I don't really talk about skins too much. But I know how people feel when they look at Ivern and the new skin of Ivern and they go, what is happening? Ever since Arcane came out, Riot has been changing the game's lore, and it is actually impacting the game itself, with Mel being added to other champions being mentioned throughout the series, and also we're getting new lore about champions, except for Blitzcrank, of course, which I'm so sorry, Blitzy, but I hope Blitzcrank gets new lore. But what are my thoughts about this? Personally, I'm quite excited about these new changes, and I can't wait to try them out. I think that League of Legends is slowly making a comeback. I think that the game itself is feeling a lot better, and I really think that they do hear a lot about the community, and they are on a good step in track to making the game amazing again. Remember last time you asked your friends about League of Legends and they say, oh, the game's crap, it's a very bad game, just toxic people, blah, blah, blah. Maybe in the near future, when you ask your friends, do you want to play League of Legends, they'll actually go,
oh wow, didn't all just do that new event about Ionia or something, or about Village WhatsApp? That's so cool, let's play the game.
You never know, but one thing is for sure, Riot is changing the game and it's looking good. I'm very excited to see what changes League of Legends has in store for us, guys, and I hope you are too, because at the end of the day, the game is always going to be people flaming you, people trolling you, and people trying to ruin your day. But if the gameplay is feeling better and Riot is trying to make everything fresher by adding a lot of new content, I can guarantee you that even though people are trying to ruin your day in the game, you can still have fun playing it. And I've not been having that much fun playing League of Legends, which is why I'm looking very faithfully into these new patches that are coming and to these new changes. So now you can answer my question when I asked you, what do you think about the game's current state? And also just adding this, what do you think is going to happen in the next few months? Thanks for watching this far, guys. I hope you have a great day, and remember, I'm going to be yapping more about League, so stick around if you enjoyed it. I'll see you on the next one.